Evening, brothers. Yes, off the back of this Victoria Everest case, this fake allegation, of which I now hear that she's claiming it's AI when it obviously wasn't. You can tell by the way she broke it down on the belief that she was right to do so, the way she logically broke it down, talking to the guy who exposed her, naturally tells us it wasn't AI. And secondly, the fool is now posting again from what I've heard. But anyway, I say all that to say this. To all you young guys out there, some of you going to university, some of you, I don't know, local celebrity, a local rude boy even, you know, the next soccer big thing, soccer superstar big thing. My advice to you is simply this. And something I knew a long time ago. Record your shit. I'll say it again. Record your shit. Now, I don't mean have some hidden camera somewhere in your room recording you and some girl or girls getting it on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the conversation. Because obviously, you know, it would be a bit dishonest if you were to film shenanigans without her consent. That is wrong. You don't do that. But what you can do is have a tape somewhere just recording the conversation loud and clear. Especially if it's the first time she's been to your house. And especially if it's the first time she's been to your house and she's on it. That's a different thing. You know, and yeah, that's what I would do. For example, a young man goes out, meets a girl, you invite her over, she's feeling more at home. That's a big sign. She's feeling more at home in your house than she should do. Too relaxed. Giving you certain non-verbal cues that she's on it. And say you smash. That's fine, whatever. But sometimes, just sometimes, the urge to have the three-letter word can A, override any forms of sense, common sense, rationale, which is the case. It's a natural urge for a man to want to bang, especially when you're a young gun, coming in the game. But more importantly, yes, you spoke on the phone. Yes, you done the job. Yes, you brought her around your house. But ultimately, and most guys haven't even thought about this, but you don't know her. No, she told you, I go to church. Like I said last time, no, it means nothing. I like the same tunes as you. I like Erica. No, means nothing. Because you're the same skin tone means nothing now, as we've seen with this case. So, as young men, I'm begging you to be careful. Let's go in the not so distant past with the Mendy case. Mendy, the footballer. Benjamin Mendy, Man City. Big example. That was a big thing. And as I rightly called at the time, as I've called in the few instances of R charges that have been fake R charges that have occurred in real life with people I know, which I'm going to go on to, stick a pin there afterwards. But with regards to Benjamin Mendy, I haven't said there. Nope. No rape charge. And when it came out on tape, what did you see? For those of you that have seen the tape, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you can Google it or find it somewhere in the online media spare, online social media somewhere, some way. But what you saw, this is what I saw. Girl in shower, guy in shower. And my girl's putting man's things inside her body. So how's that R? How's that rape? There you go. In that instance, it was a good thing that they filmed it. And obviously they'll all get their frequent anyway. And that's a different scenario. That's a different scenario than you and some girl getting it on and you filming it. That's a no-no. But in that case, because it's more of a free-for-all and she probably knew and maybe went with the flow. I don't know. Somehow, some way, filming it gave them a pass. Same way, my man's friend in this situation, him filming it, will now probably get him off the hook, which is a good thing. So, all I'm saying is, as a young gun, you have to find a way to film your SHIT. For example, being for instances of women that have been in my premise, on my premises, things have occurred. I have a little table over there, tapes running, recording everything. And also a key thing as well, which you must do. In fact, yeah, a key thing you must do. I'm trying to add some structure to this, what I'm saying. Key thing you should always do is when you leave these women, always leave it sweet. And now, especially in this day and age, when you leave, make sure you're seen with her, leaving the premises or your property by a third person. And it's seen to be good, a good sight, a good thing. Like, for example, if a woman comes here, she gets it on, then they go downstairs, I'll more than likely make it be known to be seen by someone. So if anything comes back, they can say, guess what? That's not the case. Because I saw Tapped Uncle with Shamika Jones walk down the stairs. And they were smiling and skinning and grinning. And she was happy. So how can it be that he left her on that day and she was happy and now she's saying this? Makes sense? Right. The whole point I'm making is make sure you're covered when you meet these hoes. Sorry, when you meet women, because it's not only hoes that do this, but make sure you're covered when you meet women, especially when you're leaving. Let's call it an exit strategy. Yes? Yes. Because when these women do these things, like this Victoria Fool in this case, I mean, I've read a few comments, and women seem to be, very neutral or, yeah, well, this and that, and no one's really putting in their place. Some women are, actually. But I've always wondered this. Have these women got brothers, male cousins, good male friends? What they say was those guys. I've always wondered this. But hey, they don't even think like that. They don't think on that level, what's up or not. So that'd be a bit too deep for them. I never thought about that. That's what they'd say. So let's not, we know they're fool. More time or not. But hey, another conversation. The whole point I'm making is, and to add that in there, is simply to say that when you, as young men, have women or links, as you call them, in your vicinity, always have an exit strategy in the sense that you keep things smooth. Because, and I'll exit with this, when women do say, when this has happened, the fake R charge, what do they normally say in some cases? It's because they feel disrespected after they gave you something. They gave you their body, they gave you their all, and because somewhere at the end of it, they felt used and disrespected, I'm going to get him back. He didn't drop me home, so I felt a way about that. I had to get a bus, I'm going to get him back for that. At the end, he didn't really respond to me, and his body language, it's like I felt used. So I thought I'm going to get him back. And that actually may be a topic of the next video, I don't know. But anyway, let one bounce, let one leave. And remember, always tape your shit later.